premiered on the 5th of September 2017 in Los Angeles and was released theatrically on the 8th of September by New Line Cinema and Warner Bros. Pictures. September is what is known as a dump month. Domestic audiences during these time periods are usually smaller. This may be because seasonal workers with summer jobs will be coming to the end of their contracts, meaning that they have less disposable income. In their annual Theatrical and Home Entertainment Marketing Environment Report, otherwise known as THEME, the Motion Picture Association of America found that audiences aged 24 and below make up 34% of audiences in the USA and Canada. It is during September that this demographic goes back to school, college or university, reducing their attendance as moviegoers. This is further cut by the costs of school supplies, activity fees and tuition fees, which Huntington Bank in their annual research found ranged from $660 to $1,500. In recent years, it hasn't been uncommon for films within the horror genre to release outside of the desired month of October. This is primarily due to having to compete with horror franchise films that are released in the early weeks of October in the build-up to Halloween. Such was the case of Mama, which was rescheduled for release in January 2013 by Paramount so that it wouldn't have to compete with the release of Paranormal Activity 4. The success of this film suggests that release outside of the usual scheduling for this genre can be successful. It was released 1 month before the usual scheduling for films of its genre. This was most likely to reduce competition with the film Jigsaw of the Saw franchise, but also to release before Flatliners and The Mummy, which, much like it, are remakes or adaptations of previously successful films. It grossed $700 million globally and set various box office records. In its opening weekend, it grossed $123.1 million, making it the largest opening weekend of any September release and any horror film. BoxOfficeMojo.com reported that an estimated $62 million upon debut were from international territories. It became the largest opening weekend for a horror film in the UK, Russia, Australia, Brazil, Holland and Poland. The film Killer Clowns from Outer Space was originally distributed using limited domestic release strategy. This is often done to gauge the reaction of audiences before it's decided whether a film is given a wide release. The main advantage to this method is the conservation of marketing costs. The film went on to have video premieres in what was formerly known as West Germany in 1988, and also in Barcelona, Japan and Madrid in 1989. The film was also aired on television regularly from 1989 up until its release on VHS and DVD on HBO and some local television stations. The film was not particularly successful upon its initial release, and did not have a global theatrical release in the same way that most films would today. In its opening weekend, the film grossed $2.6 million. However, the film's total gross is $43.6 million, $28 million of which came from foreign territories. In 2001, the film was released on VHS and DVD due to its status as a cult film. The film has had several releases since then, the most recent being to celebrate its 30th anniversary in 2018. There has also been special viewings of the film with the full orchestra performing the film's score. The film has been dubbed and released in French and German. In 2018, the film was featured as a scare zone at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. The film also had a collection of toys produced by Amok that were sold from 2006 until their license ran out in 2017. The cult status of this film has led to marketing and distribution opportunities 30 years after its initial release. With regards to the cultural influences on the release of this film, it could be that these aliens are supposed to represent forces that could pose a threat to America. This could be the Cold War, which was ongoing during the time, and with the unrest in the Middle East. It is also a possibility that they were meant to represent America itself and its involvement in conflicts such as the Vietnam War. The main marketing materials used in the 1980s prior to a film's release were posters and trailers. After a film's release, there needed to be an emphasis placed upon the VHS covers that were presented to consumers. Video rental was one of the most common ways to watch films during this period of time. And in a way, it still is today with streaming services such as Netflix, so it's important to make sure that your product makes an impact upon potential consumers. The AIDA marketing model was developed by E. St. Elmo Lewis and has been used since the late 19th century. It's used to show the purchasing process of consumers. This can be applied to the VHS and DVD covers of horror films, especially pre-internet and streaming service films. I will analyse the cover of Killer Clowns from Outer Space using the AIDA model to show how it has been designed to increase marketability to consumers. The image and text are clear and striking with a simplistic background. The colour scheme is simple, predominantly using primary colours. This draws the consumer's eye to the cover as it is not jumbled and clearly shows what the film is about. The best way to cover interest is to build curiosity for an audience. The cover does this by taking what at the time was a fairly innocent image, a clown, and inverting the audience's expectations by making it appear monstrous. This creates questions in potential consumers' minds. These questions will spark interest for the text. The design uses the synopsis and on-cover reviews to create desire. The first line of the synopsis is, "Finally, the truth about clowns is out." This creates desire to watch, as it suggests to audiences that they might find out a secret and they can only obtain it through watching the film. The use of a witty tagline that parodies the 1979 film Alien catches the attention of audiences and helps to create desire. The synopsis is essentially a pitch. It tells the audience what to expect. The crazy antics described in the statement make people want to watch the film, as they want to see just how insane it is. The contemporary film market has more influences that affect the way that it is marketed. The internet and the introduction of social media have been a big influence on marketing. Diversity of consumer options has led to more emphasis being put on film marketing as competition is increased between films. This means that there is a greater need for innovative marketing campaigns. To get a better understanding of audiences' attitudes towards marketing campaigns, I took to the streets and conducted a survey with 70 members of the general public. I asked what types of film marketing they saw most frequently, the highest response being on television or on YouTube at 26% of my sample, closely followed by on social media at 24%. I then asked what type of film advertisement was most effective in making them want to actually go and see a film in the cinema. The highest response was adverts on television or on YouTube at 32%, followed by word of mouth at 18% and social media at 17%. I followed this up by asking if they normally watch the trailer of a film before they see it in the cinema. 71% of people asked responded to this question saying yes. This might suggest that audiences are more receptive to marketing campaigns that use interactive platforms such as social media and YouTube based on my research. It had an extensive and inventive marketing campaign. The first official image of the film debuted on the 13th of July 2016, over a year before the film was set to be released. The image was coupled with an interview with Bill Skarsgård in Entertainment Weekly. From July the 30th to August the 22nd, director Andy Muschietti released storyboard images on his Instagram account. Muschietti is an Argentinian director and screenwriter. He uses his personal social media platform to share snippets of the project he's working on, building excitement for his followers. He does this in both English and Spanish, helping to build a wider potential audience. On the 16th of August, a full costume image of Skarsgård as Pennywise was released in Entertainment Weekly to promote the film. This included an interview with the costume designer Jane Bryant. On the 9th of March 2017, Muschietti was announced to appear at a screening event called Face Your Fears at South by Southwest Festival. During the event, he talked about the influences and inspirations for his adaptation of the film. During this event, a teaser trailer and a scene from the film were released. The trailer was highly praised, and the scene gave audiences a look into the relationship between the main characters, creating excitement. On the 28th of March, an 139-second trailer was released. In the first 24 hours of its release, the trailer had been viewed 197 million times, setting a new record for the most views in one day and unseating the fate of the Furious. This was then followed by another shorter trailer. It was later confirmed that Muschietti would premiere new footage at San Diego Comic-Con, as well as introduce the audience to the actors that were part of the Losers Club. It was in August of 2017 that the marketing campaign became more outlandish and innovative. On the 14th, Warner Bros. Entertainment opened a haunted house experience in Hollywood, featuring animatronics, actors, and projections. The next day, a virtual reality experience, Float, was launched. Both of these campaigns offering audiences an interactive experience and opportunity to explore elements of the film. This is a particularly good method of marketing as it engages audiences and gives them an idea of what the film will be like whilst providing a unique and innovative experience. This is important to the marketing of a film as it offers something more than just a visual. It suggests to potential audiences that the team behind the film really care about it and want people to be able to experience it fully. The final significant piece of marketing comes from a territory outside of the USA and UK. In Australia, on the 3rd of September, 4 days before the film's release, a marketing stunt caused a stir on social media. Red balloons, the calling card of the film's antagonist, appeared tied to drain grates all over Sydney. On the pavement next to them, the words, "It's closer than you think," followed by the hashtag #ItMovie and the date of the film's release. In a society saturated with social media, this is a very clever move. Including the hashtag elevates the campaign to a social media platform, and the spontaneity of the appearance of the balloons gathers interest from those who see it. As people share their experience online, it creates a snowball effect of people sharing these images, creating a viral campaign.